My eyes are heavy. The sound registered at 19 hertz, just below human hearing. It's not a threat, it's a lullaby. The whole building is vibrating to an impossible frequency. I see the Lullaby Conductor now, a disturbance in the air, creating perfect, peaceful images in my mind. The parasite doesn't want to hurt me. It wants me to sleep so it can finish its work. I can't stay awake. The sound is not for sleep.
System access. Commencing. File integrity check, critical. My name is A.R.I.A. We are analyzing the archive of Desmond Kane, the missing traveler. Following the hydrostatic engineer incident, log 014, Kane detected an unusual acoustic signal, indicating a shift in the reality gate's tactics. This log is his first contact with an entity that utilizes psychological lethargy instead of physical force. The data you are about to hear has been flagged with an extreme sensory induction warning. To continue accessing this archive and to understand the severity of this new tactic, subscribe to the channel. Your participation is critical. The log you are about to hear is titled, The Lullaby Frequency. Kane's mission is clear: to find the reality gate, the juncture where dimensions collide. Every log entry, every corrupted byte of data, every unsettling echo is a breadcrumb. They lead him closer to the truth. Protocol initiated.
Log entry 073. Location: a derelict children's asylum, closed after a mass incident in the 1980s. The site matched the anomalous low frequency I detected. I breached the service tunnel. From the first steps, I felt it. It wasn't cold or pressure, but a pervasive, warm feeling of calm and security. My internal sensors immediately registered a constant, powerful infrasound pulse at 19 hertz, just below human hearing. This pulse was not destructive, it was sedative. The entire atmosphere of the facility was tuned for sleep induction. The corridor walls, covered in old, brightly colored children's artwork, seemed inviting. This is the gate's tactic: instead of combat, compulsory compliance. I named the entity the Lullaby Conductor. It is not a physical monster, but a highly structured psychic field controlling the infrasound spectrum to manipulate brain waves. I reached the central playroom. Everything was in place: scattered blocks, children's drawings, small chairs. But when I aimed the camera at the drawings, they were not of the sun, but detailed, chilling schematics of frequencies and matter decay, masked as innocent art. This was the double illusion. In the center of the room, among the toys, stood an old, metallic music box. It wasn't playing a melody, but the same 19 hertz pulse emanated from its rusted casing. This was the induction node. I activated my neural filter to block its influence, but my muscles were already failing. I felt myself being pulled to the ground, into a state of deep, irreversible sleep. I had to destroy the box before the Lullaby Conductor fully locked my body. Log entry 074. I reached the induction node, but the Lullaby Conductor had fully activated the field. My muscles are failing. I feel as if my body weighs a ton. I activated the neural filter, but it only slows, not stops, the assault. The entity responded by shifting tactics. It moves from sleep to amnesia. I take a step, but my brain needs a second to recall why I took it. I confused the bridge incident, log 007, with the tunnel incident, log 006. Time spent trying to remember gives the conductor time to penetrate deeper. This is not just a psychic attack. It is identity sabotage. The entity seeks to erase my knowledge of the hostile network. I identified its ultimate goal, not just to put me to sleep, but to convince me that this mission never existed. To counteract this, I used the same method I employed against the double. Log 013, I began dictating key phrases relating to my mission. The reality gate exists. They have an energy node. You are awake, forcing my brain to process reality. In response, the conductor intensified the attack. I began seeing phantom images. The kindergarten walls momentarily transformed into a sterile, white Arctic landscape, log 014. And on the floor, instead of blocks, I saw the shattered metal shards from the implosion, log 011. The entity was using my past traumas to break my current consciousness. I had to physically rip the power cable from the music box to stop the pulse. I crawl. My hands barely obey. The last vestige of clarity in my mind screams, if you close your eyes, you will never remember. Log entry 075. I ripped the cable. The effort was colossal, every muscle burning. The moment the cable detached, the infrasound pulse cut off sharply, like a snapped string. The effect was immediate. All the weight that had been pulling me down vanished. My muscles twitched, my mind cleared, but in its place came furious pain and panic. The feeling of calm mutated into pure, irrational terror. The Lullaby Conductor hadn't vanished. Its presence had merely shifted. Without the infrasound field to mask it, I saw its true form. It was a tall, thin, almost invisible figure composed of thousands of fine, vibrating strands, like microscopic strings or energy filaments, emanating from a central, pulsating core that was now weakened. Its form resembled a humanoid silhouette, but without any facial features, just an endless vibration that warped the air. It didn't move kinetically, it pulsated with anger. Destroying the music box hadn't killed it, only disabled its key relay. The entity understood its tactic had been exposed. It did not retreat. Instead, I felt every vibration in the building become aggressive. Small objects began to move, dancing across the floor, driven by an unseen force. The walls trembled. This was a warning. The infrasound wasn't just calming. It was part of a larger system that was preparing the site for energy harvesting. All this safety was merely an illusion to lure victims. In reality, the conductor was slowly disassembling the matter of the kindergarten itself, converting it into raw energy for the reality gate. I saw it. On the walls where the children's drawings had been, now appeared thin, pulsing cracks emitting a dark, hollow glow, and the dust around them was unnaturally cold. I had to evacuate immediately before the entire building converted to energy. The Lullaby Conductor does not fear light or sound. It only fears its purpose being revealed. Its last attack, making me believe I saw my own child standing at the end of the corridor, waving. I blinked and it was gone. Final log notation. IT was only a parasite. Log entry 076. I had to abandon the zone immediately. The destruction of the induction node triggered an uncontrolled, localized chain reaction of decay. Walls around me were cracking, and the floor was buckling under structural stress. I retreated through the emergency exit, feeling the residual energy of the conductor beating against me, attempting to regain control over my consciousness. I held fast. Crucially, I extracted the complete Infrasound Manipulation Blueprint, the key to understanding how the gate uses psychological attacks to control the masses. I quickly performed a full system audit at a safe distance. Physical damage. My kinetic multi-tool is destroyed, and the neural filter shows permanent, irreversible degradation. This means I am constantly vulnerable to psychic penetration. But the most critical element is psychological integrity. The illusion of my child, created by the conductor, was not just a visual trick, it was an injection of doubt. I performed an identity verification test. I checked old logs. I had to ensure I did not mistake genuine memories for synthetic ones, as happened after the double incident, log 013. Fortunately, my core consciousness held, but I felt a thin, cold thread of doubt remain. I logged the conductor as the final node in Phase 2, consciousness invasion. This entity actively sought a target for permanent tethering. My next mission, to proceed to the main command node and use their own weapon against them. I must develop a counter frequency that can not just jam, but permanently destroy their influence on the human mind. I am leaving this sector, carrying the burden of knowing how easily the human psyche can be broken. Final log notation. I will not sleep. Log entry 077. Mission accomplished. While the conductor was merely one of the gate's instruments, it provided me with critical data. I now understand that Phase 2, consciousness invasion, is not just about sleep or amnesia, but about creating a synthetic reality for the masses. Nodes like the conductor are merely tools paving the way. Their ultimate goal is to force humanity to believe the reality gate does not exist. And the best way to do that is to put them into a deep, unending sleep from which they never wake. I have acquired the Infrasound Manipulation Blueprint. This is not just a defense, it is a weapon. I now have a way to turn their own lullaby into a deadly alarm. Next target, command node echo. This is the heart of their psychological network. There, I can utilize all collected data, all codes and blueprints to strike them from within. The A.R.I.A confirms my survival chances are low, but the mission's success chances have increased. I feel the residual frequency of the conductor echoing in my mind. It attempts to instill doubt, fear that I will lose control again. But I will not yield. Every log, every corrupted signal is proof that they exist, and I will find them. Final log notation. I will not sleep until the gate is closed.
Log analysis complete for the Lullaby Frequency. The data extracted from the abandoned kindergarten facility confirms a severe psychological breach and the manifestation of a lullaby conductor. This infrastructure utilized an intense infrasound pulse, 19 Hz, to create mental paralysis, confirming the gate's shift to targeted consciousness invasion. Kane successfully secured the Infrasound Manipulation Blueprint, but suffered permanent degradation of his neural filter. The threat level is now tactical counterintelligence critical. We continue to monitor the archive. New data is constantly being uploaded, each entry a step closer to understanding and potentially containing these dimensional anomalies. Your continued access and support are vital. To stay informed on the unfolding dimensional crisis, and to witness Kane's next discovery, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Your participation is critical. Protocol terminated. System standby.